Namaste, my name is Dhieyo and welcome to my channel. Today I'll tell you about this very important mudra that has been looked over. Over a period of time there's a lot of mudras that people have been practicing, but this particular mudra people have looked over just as good enough as the result of this mudra. So the result I'll tell you first and then I'll tell you about the mudra. Now you've all, I'm sure all of us have seen a lot of children who are like child prodigies. They've from a very young age they're very good with music, they're very good with drawing, they're very good with talking, they have some spiritual knowledge where you're wondering how does this 4-year-old boy know all this stuff. So a lot of knowledge that we have in this life. Knowledge does not only mean spiritual knowledge can be anything. All this information that we have in this life is a result of our previous life. So everything that you've gathered there, that experience, once the body dies, the memory of it which is being stored in your organs and in your brain dies off, but that experience now that the soul has got stays with the soul. So in some cases, like I said, this is why some children are those child prodigies. In some cases, children are aware of this. That means the soul in a human form is now using all that experience to make use of it. Is using this body now, controlling this body, that okay, this experience what I had right now, this is how you play the guitar. So your fingers, that child is so great with the guitar or with the piano, or in education, their memory is so good because in their previous life they've conditioned that brain to store memory. So they know how to control this brain now, the new body that they are in. So this is why a lot of children are good with studies. Their memory is so good for a lot of things. So all our knowledge that we gather is really important because they are surviving tools. Today with your knowledge, you can make money. Money is extremely important in this world that we live in. A lot of people who are into spirituality think that money is bad and money is this. No. Money is really important. So all our skills, our ability, our knowledge is our surviving tool to survive over here. Because money, like I said, is a huge part of this illusion, is a huge part of this matrix. So now, let's say all our spiritual practices that we are doing in this lifetime, you're doing your mudra, your mantra, your manifestation techniques, everything, but it's just not working. But does that mean you give up on your practices? No, you continue on your practice. This is what I tell people. Don't worry about the result for now. You are definitely taking another birth because you've not been conditioned right now to leave this matrix. So you're definitely taking another birth. Maybe you will use it then. Maybe you will find your success then. Maybe you will be really great with controlling the matrix then. So continue with your practice because the soul is gathering all that information, that experience, and is going to use it probably later. So how do we get that information back? How do you bring that information, the soul that has gathered, how do you bring it back? In some cases, the soul knows what to do. In some cases, the matrix is so strong that the worldly matter of this matrix is so strong that the soul now has, let's say, forgotten what it needs to do. So can we bring back all the memory? Yes, we can. So the mudra that I tell you is going to do just that. Now, the Gyan Mudra, the most famous Gyan Mudra, which is the mudra for knowledge, there are 4 ways of doing it. The 4th way is what we need to do. But first, for those who don't know, very quickly, I'll tell you, I've made a lot of videos talking about the Gyan Mudra, but very quickly I'll tell you, this is how you hold a Gyan Mudra. The thumb represents the soul, the index finger represents you. The thumb represents the Supreme Soul, the index finger represents you, the soul. When you, the soul, connects to the Supreme Soul, you release these 3 qualities, human qualities that you're operating on, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. Rajas is where you're hyperactive, you're thinking too much, you're acting too much. Tamas is where you are a little low on energy, where you're, let's say, depressed, you're drunk, you're hungover, life sucks. That's what you're operating on. Sattva is when you're peace, calmful, happy, joy. These are all human emotions. So when you release these human emotions, which means keeping your fingers upwards, slightly upwards, not like a punishment, but slightly pointing upwards, is where you start getting spiritual knowledge. Because right now you're not human anymore. You've released all human qualities. So this is who you are right now, a soul directly connected to the Supreme Soul. So now the same qualities, when you're looking to get a balance in your life, that okay, now I need a balance in my life, that could be in any form, either in a relationship. Let's say right now you are extremely focused towards your business and career where your relationship is suffering. or your health is suffering, in any form of your life, and you're trying to find a balance, even in spirituality, that okay, I need my one leg to be in the material world and one leg on the spiritual side, I need that balance. to operate into my day-to-day life, then you keep these qualities, the human qualities, straight on your palm. They're not pointing upwards because you're not trying to release it, you're trying to get a balance. So there's a balance that's formed in it. When you're trying to give away something like a bad habit, an addiction, it could be either addiction to, let's say, food, drugs, alcohol, anything, or a thought process, or a person, you're addicted to a person, or a thought process, like I said, so you want to give away that thing, or in some cases, even materialistic things. So when you're doing this mudra, you point a finger downwards. But at this time, it's really important that you know why you're putting it down. Okay, I'm holding this mudra because I'm addicted to a thought process, a person, alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be. It's important you know that, because what can happen is other things in your life can also start going away then. You won't even realize that, why am I not making money anymore? How come I'm losing my house? Because this is all about giving up things. So you have to be in that mentality that, okay, now I need to give up things. So your quality is going, you, the soul, is connected still. So the knowledge to give that up, the journey will start. This is how it works. So now the fourth one, which we need to do now to bring back previous lifetime memories, not just the previous one, but way before also, anything that the soul has gathered, to bring that back so that you can use it now for your benefit. Like I said, nothing goes to waste. It's up to us how we bring it back. Sometimes the soul knows what to do with the body. Sometimes we need to manipulate this body into bringing back that memory. So again, the Gyan Mudra, in this time, what you're going to do is, again, the Supreme Soul, you, the soul, connect to each other, but your fingers are not going to be pointed upwards. These two fingers are going to be pointed downwards. Your fingers are going to be placed on your lap, which is not going to be like this now. Which is not going to be like this, slightly cupped, because now what you're trying to do is, like I said, these human qualities, you're trying to control this body. When I say you, I mean the soul. You're trying to control this body and bring back every information that the soul has inside already. Right now, the soul is not looking to connect to the Supreme Soul upwards, that okay, everything from there is going to come. No, I already have that knowledge. I'm trying to bring it back. So let's say right now, when you want to control something, a horse, an animal, or hold something, this is how you control it. This is how you drive something. When you want to manipulate the car where you want it to go, you're not going to drive it like this. No way. This is how you do it. So have that sensibility in your mind when you're doing this, that now my soul, me, the soul, is going to control this body, bring back all the information that I've gathered, and this is how you're going to sit for your meditation practice. Slightly, finger slightly cupped, finger not straight, finger not outwards, as comfortable as it works for you. Like this works for me. This may not work for me. So when you're holding it, let's say if you want to keep your fingers cupped in, don't cup it completely like a fist. Keep it slightly open. Let the energy flow. This is what works for me. When my fingers are slightly on my knees. So later on, after you're done practicing it, or if you're somebody new to yoga and meditation and mudras, then you do it on your yoga mat. But later on, you can do this in your day-to-day life. You could be sitting anywhere. You don't need to make it so obvious. You don't need to hold two hands. You could be holding a coffee cup in one hand and the other hand stays like this, or whichever hand you prefer. So that information will keep coming. Okay, this is what you need to do. So let's say this information now is going to help you in whatever area of your life the soul knows needs that information. The soul knows, okay, I have gathered that information which now I can use it at this stage of my life. Your physical form may not know anything, but your soul will get that information back. But yeah, like I said, it needs to manipulate this body to bring that information back so that it can now start operating this body into what needs to be done. This could be with your career, this could be with your relationship, this could be with your health, anything. The right words will start coming out. The right talent will start coming out. If you're a writer, musician, anything, words, sound, music, something or the other will start coming which was gathered in the previous time. You're in a relationship, the relationship's not working, the right words will come. Every relationship doesn't need to end in a bad way. You'll know that, okay, this is what I need to say. This is what had worked at that time. This is how I had manipulated this matrix into getting what I want. Any information you see in your life, how this will work. So this is how you do it. It's called the Gyan Mudra, which means knowledge. Again, like I said, upwards is when you're looking for spiritual knowledge, straight is when you're looking for a balance in your life, down is where you need to give away something from your life. When you cup it inwards, completely relaxed, is where the soul already has a lot of knowledge. Nothing that we are gathering right now goes to waste. We'll use that previous life knowledge to make use of it over here. So right now, if you're doing any of your practices, let's say spiritual practices, or even let's say your creative practices, your day-to-day life, whatever, you may not succeed now, but you will succeed in some other lifetime where you will be a pro at it. And everyone's going to wonder that, my God, how does this person know so much? This person didn't even read a book and knows so much. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and until I see you again, have a good life. Namaste.